for our first MMA fight of the evening. Not sure what those records on the screen say, because yes, it's 1 win versus 2 wins, both 0 losses. The monster Colton Kielbasa getting action on the way here for the first round.
And we're underway, ladies and gentlemen, for our first mixed martial arts bout of the night. Mostafa versus Riccado.
Straight away in on the single leg. And a quick, easy finish. In the side control already, and not a good start for Riccado here. But in saying that, I was talking to Riccado early in the week. Riccado normally fights at 135 pounds. Tonight, short notice, 155 pounds. He might feel the strength of the Norwegian here.
And like I said before, Mostafa has somewhat of a pretty handy corner crew there. He's got Rafael Feziev, who's currently a top 10 ranked lightweight UFC fighter in his corner tonight. So obviously Rafa must see something in this young prospect.
Mostafa has the chin strap. He's in half guard. I'd like to see him try to land some punches here, which he's starting to open up a little bit now, but very hard position, stuck in the ropes. Colton Kielbasa, referee, is going to reset him back in the center.
Very privileged to have this man beside me tonight, Campbell Symes. So he's actually a world record holder in jiu-jitsu, so at least he knows what he's talking about. I have no idea what's going on the ground, but yeah, pleasure to have you here tonight, Cam. Like I said, a world record holder, 30 hours non-stop for a jiu-jitsu roll for charity, so at least we know he knows what he's talking about.
Looking for that underhook here. Riccado makes his way back up to the feet, but unfortunately straight back on the double. And they're out of the ropes here and into the crowd.
Always a risk you got to run when you're having MMA fights in the ropes. Obviously the cage would have stopped that in the normal pretense, but no cages over in Thailand at the minute yet.
It's actually a little bit trickier in a ring trying to get up off the ground. The cage actually helps us in MMA. In the ring, it actually makes it a little bit more handy for the guy on top.
Ricardo's just getting hit at will here at the minute. He's got to fire back. Nice little short left hand up the middle there, but Mostafa's starting to run himself out of gas. And again, they're out of the ring.
This is actually working in Ricardo's favor because it's getting reset back on the feet. But these are clean takedowns.
He's getting the better of the striking exchanges too. Mostafa has absolutely zero technique, but he's, like you said, you can tell there's a difference in body type too. There's quite a thickness to Mostafa as opposed to Riccado. So I think that weight difference is starting to... Oh shit, that's a third time out of the ring here. Luckily, ladies and gentlemen, we've got, like we said, one of the best MMA referees in the land, Colton Kielbasa in there, a very, very experienced fighter in his own right as well.
It's actually a funny catch-22 here. If I was Riccado, I'd keep letting him take me outside of the ring because, here we go. Good refereeing here by Colton Kielbasa, starting him on the ground.
Yeah, I think after the third attempt, you could see clearly that he would have ended up in at least a guard position there. Guard position, if I'm correct, Campbell?
Yes, Riccado playing the closed guard here. But the problem with the closed guard, if Riccado wants to get up now, he has to open the guard. He's not going to be able to stand up while his feet are crossed.
I think he'd just be complacent to see this out a little bit. He was getting some very, very heavy shots coming down on him at the start there. A couple of little short elbows there from Riccado on the bottom. Just letting Mostafa know that he's not going away.
I'd like to see Mostafa posture up here and start to land some ground and pound. He's winning on the feet. He can get a takedown whenever he wants. He doesn't really need to hug so much here and worry about the control. See, when he postures up, Ricardo's not going to get away.
I feel like, he's got himself straight into north-south choke.
Yeah, north-south choke here. If he gets his hips back and gets his shoulders to the mat, he might get the tap. He needs to sprawl back, get himself onto the neck.
Ricardo's still actively fighting on this, hand fighting, but I can imagine the pressure of the squeeze will probably get... You can see that he's starting to die off a little bit more and more here.
The only problem right here is that Mostafa's shoulder's still on top of Ricardo's chest. He has to move back a tiny bit more and the choke will be on.
Colton just checking.
As you can see, Mostafa's trying to wiggle back, but unfortunately Riccado able to turtle and get himself back up.
40 seconds left in this round.
Riccado needs to use that underhook and get away from this position now.
You can see with a little look at the clock there.
Oh, nice arm drag by Riccado. Unfortunately not following through on it though.
This is what I thought might happen into the next round, is Mostafa is now visibly tired. He's been putting a lot of effort to try and put Riccado away in round one. Oh, nice little short overhand there. Riccado can keep his hands up, and he's had the right idea there with trying to exchange the elbows as the overhands come in, but you want to be throwing the up elbow as opposed to the downward elbow because you leave yourself exposed.
And that's going to see out the first round in this, our very first MMA fight of the evening here. Very good fight. Mustafa getting the better of the round, but like I said, Riccado is known for fighting at a smaller weight, so I imagine tonight he's going to gas a lot less than his opponent, Mustafa.
You can see even in the postures, like Riccado choosing to stand while Mostafa was as quick as he could onto the seat. So if Riccado can manage to find enough distance to either stuff the shots or get some work on the outside, maybe with some kicking, some teeping and things like that, he might be able to have a bit more of a successful round. Only 1 minute break for the MMA fights as well, so he's got to come back out pretty quickly, Mostafa. As you said, with that north-south choke, got himself into position very quickly, but just didn't quite know how to finish it by the looks of things.
Yeah, his finish mechanics, he was trying to use a little bit too much strength and was missing out on the finer details of the technique.
And credit to Riccado too for sticking that out and making, he knew that he had the fight left in him and that nothing was really bothering him too much. Like we said, ladies and gentlemen, Rafael Fiziev there, top 10 ranked UFC lightweight fighter, one of the best strikers on the planet, so you know that Mustafa's going to have a little bit of striking in his arsenal. He's got someone like Rafa in the corner.
I'd like to see Riccado keep a bit of a higher pace now that Mustafa's a little bit physically tired.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think too. He needs to start pushing a bit of pressure now. Like even if he can just keep his jab at range, making sure he's not overcommitting because Mustafa's going to shoot. But I'd like to see some teeps because he's got a really decent height advantage here. I think this could be the beginning of something if Mustafa doesn't get his chest back in time. He could be in for a bit of a long night. Like I said, Ricardo's just see now that diving technique. That's why we wanted Riccado to stay a little bit further back.
Yeah, that shot was very forced, very far out, and Ricardo's now managed to get on top. Pure exhaustion from Mustafa, and now Ricardo's attacking a head arm triangle. Needs to get his head to the mat and step off to the same side, or do exactly what he's doing, get the ground and pound. So if his opponent can't defend, the referee will be forced to stop the fight in MMA.
Bit of a weird position because he kind of seems to be just punching him in the arm, so I don't know. But you could tell before this that Mustafa had run out of gas. He gassed himself out so bad in that first round.
This hugging's not going to help Mustafa very much, yes. Riccado needs to posture down and start to land some ground and pound whilst he's got the dominant position here.
Straight into the body lock too. Riccado quite a decent grappler by the looks of things.
Yes, he's got the body triangle here on the back. Now he's got the back. Now he needs to start attacking for a rear naked choke. Referee warning the red corner for putting the fingers in the gloves here. In MMA, we cannot put our fingers in the gloves to defend a choke.
It's going to take a lot of effort here for Mustafa to try and turn back in. I feel like Ricardo's going to ride him out the whole time too.
And this is very good for Riccado because only if he doesn't get the finish, it's only going to make Mustafa more tired trying to defend himself.
Just under 3 minutes left in this round. What would you like to see Riccado doing from here, Cam, or is he pretty much on point of what he needs to be doing?
Pretty much on point. He could maybe attack a couple submissions, head arms and stuff, or he needs to just posture and start throwing elbows. I liked his elbows he was throwing before, or was throwing them in, but he doesn't actually need to do that anymore because 12-6 elbows are now legal in MMA.
Yeah, maybe just forgetting that in obviously his last rule set, fighting for one, they probably weren't legal at the time. But again, he locks up that body triangle, so it's going to be a long 2 minutes here for Mostafa. You can see he's trying to pull him back in, trying to set up for that rear naked choke.
As you can see, Mustafa's done the right thing getting the body triangle on the bottom side, but especially with a build like Mostafa, this is going to make him tired from the squeeze of Riccado around his waist.
Fighting the hands pretty well though. Mostafa still obviously hasn't lost his basic control system and knowing what he needs to and what he doesn't need to do.
Riccado realistically should try to get him to the other side here if he wants to get the choke. Which he is doing now. As you can see, Riccado should push off his bottom leg, bring him to the other side, and you'll have more success at getting this rear naked choke. 1 minute 30 left in round 2, and it's been all Riccado this second round.
And Mostafa, I can't imagine, has got a lot of fight left in him. He was already visibly tired. You can see his sternum is pumping at about 190 beats per minute. It looks like we might have a little bit more of a face crank going on there, but Mostafa managed to peel him off.
If I was Riccado here, a minute left, I wouldn't hunt the submission too much because I wouldn't want to burn myself out. I'd ride out the rest of the round, and you know Mostafa's not going to recover in that 1 minute break.
Okay. Good insight there. So I'd have absolutely no idea. I'd be just like, all right, how do I finish this as quick as I can and get out? A huge control time here for Riccado. Would you like to see him pop around back over in our full mount here and maybe rain some punches down, or is it too risky of a maneuver?
I would go to full mount, but because he's got the body triangle, he could get the angle like he is and throw some elbows down as well. But it looks like Riccado will be happy to just ride out the rest of the round and go into the third round at 1 apiece.
Oh, good short elbow there on the inside as well from Riccado. What a tide turn that round was. Unbelievable work from Riccado. Still 20 seconds left. He might still be able to pull off a submission, but Mostafa's really been able to fight those hands quite well. But like I said before, you can see his sternum's moving a million miles an hour.
5 seconds left in our second round. Very good round for Riccado there. And it'll be interesting to see in this third round if Mostafa comes out and shoots again, because he shot in this round out of desperation and ended up getting on the bottom.
He looks visibly affected by that round as well. Mostafa, you can see information being trying to get relayed in there from his team, but that jab, all of the long range work that Riccado needed to do, he was spot on here. But you can see from this lift here, I think maybe just overcommitted with that right shoulder and try to drive himself too far in and just put himself he pretty much put himself in that bottom position.
Yes, pretty much put himself in that bottom position, but Riccado had a nice underhook, so he hit the punch sweep just as he landed, and Mostafa was too tired to put up any sort of defense.
Well, quite clearly 1 round apiece here, and I think the biggest difference here is going to be the fitness. See how these men have come in, how conditioned they're coming to the fight. Obviously both of them blowing an absolute gale at the moment, but another beautifully highly contested, well-matched fight here at Patong Combat League number 6.
I'd like to see Riccado again get on the pace like he did in the second round.
Yeah, he needs to be doing that. He needs to get that jab moving, punching him, putting him on the back foot, just like that. Just keep popping the jab out, force that really reluctant shot like that, and then hopefully he can figure out a way. He's got his underhook again. Try to roll through there. I don't know what he was trying to achieve there.
Riccado needs to work now to get up before it's too late. Either work to get up or work to get a sweep. He can't spend too much time on bottom, otherwise Mostafa will start to settle his hips.
And again, that weight advantage going the way of Mostafa, so Ricardo's got to get working right now.
Back to closed guard, which is okay for submission attempts, but I'd much rather see Riccado here trying to find a half guard or feet on the hips to get back up. Our referee's going to reset the action back in the middle before they start to hang out of the ropes.
Great work there by the thing, Colton Kulbasa. A little, like he's still active from the bottom, he's Riccado, but like you were saying, he's much better trying to get back to his feet or trying to get to a different, maybe a sweep inside or something like that, because the weight of Mostafa will be starting to play a factor right now.
There's not too much right now stopping Riccado from trying to work up. I'd like to see him build to an elbow, try to get back to his feet instead of just accepting the closed guard hit. Heading back over to the ropes. Let's see if the referee resets him back in the middle once again.
Just under 3 minutes now remaining in this last round, so interesting to see what desperation will come from the gentleman. Obviously, like we said, Riccado needs to get his back into any other position to try and regain his feet.
If he tried to stand up right now, I don't think Mostafa would have it in him to keep him down. But I don't know if Riccado has it in him to get up either right now. Both men very, very tired.
Slowly working his way back up. Maybe
trying for a hip bump or a Kimura here, but the shoulder pressure with Mostafa is just too much for Riccado. He's starting to lock up a Kimura grip here. If he can get back onto his opposite hip, he might have something to either sweep or get up, take the back, find a submission.
You see Mostafa leaning all of his pressure down into that shoulder so that he can't get pushed onto the other side. Getting closer and closer is Riccado, but unfortunately lost his grip there. Slide that leg through there, and hopefully Riccado can manage to get back to his feet here and break the grip. I think all that top pressure from Mostafa has just taken its toll on Riccado in this round.
Keeping his hands on the mat there because he doesn't want to get kneed, but actually the new rule set, he could still get kneed if only his hands are on the mat. Now you need an elbow or a knee to prevent kicks or knees to the head. Rolling on a leg lock here. Potential knee bar here for Riccado. Could be deep. If he doesn't get it though, I'd like to see him come up on top. Finish around on top, get some ground and pound. Yes, Riccado needs to work up, and unfortunately he's accepted bad position again here.
Under a minute to remain in this fight, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute cracker of a fight. Highly skilled individuals here. A lot of ground game work, but some beautiful techniques were on display.
Very high level fight. It looks like Mostafa's going to edge it out. 2 rounds to 1 here. 28 seconds to go. Let's see if Riccado can get back to his feet and have one last crack at winning this fight.
It's a big Hail Mary now as Riccado is quite visibly down on the scorecards now. Hopefully there's no judges out there giving 10-8 for that second round because it was a whitewash, but nothing too significant. Last 10 seconds of the fight here, ladies and gentlemen.
One last leg lock attempt for Riccado, but a little too late. Mostafa rides it out.
Wonderful fight, gents.
Very good fight here at the 154-pound MMA action. Norway versus England. Very clear win for Mostafa here. Very good second round for Riccado, but unfortunately he got taken down in the third and couldn't find his way back up. Here we go. As we see, Mostafa getting the takedown here in the third round. Starting to pass. And then in some ground and pound here in the closed guard. Making Riccado turtle. Starting to transition to the back. Quite a good grappling fight, back and forth here between the two men, but Mostafa's strength was just a little bit too much for Riccado to handle tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, bonus time for the boys. Round of applause for these two young warriors. What a fight, ladies and gentlemen. Bonus time from our head promoter, Pete Namnoy. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 action-packed rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. All 3 judges have scored this bout, 29-28. To your winner, red corner, Mostafa! Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Riccado too. Wonderful fight.
very good first MMA fight of the evening. Mostafa getting the win, fighting